I'm a librarian. Okay, that's not exactly true, but I do work in a public library, and part of my job is sitting at a desk and answering questions, locating materials, and troubleshooting technology. But I'm a library associate. Regardless of my job title, I asked a bunch of my Facebook friends to play Stump the Librarian with me. They posed a bunch of questions, and I either found the answer or a way for them to find the answer. And that's what's in this video. So I originally filmed the answers to all 10 questions that I was asked on Facebook, but if I put them all in the video, then that's going to be a really, really long video. So if you don't see your answer here, look in the thing below, and it'll be there. In which parts of North America is it legal to privately own an African lion? It's a really good question with a really complicated answer, so bear with me. In Canada, the regulation of controlled alien species is done at the provincial level. For example, in British Columbia, it's illegal to breed, possess, or transport these alien species without a specific special permit. And that's generally something that zoos and researchers and stuff like that can get. I would imagine it's much more difficult if you're just a random dude. In the United States, it's legal to import, export, buy, sell, transport, receive, or acquire lions, as well as other species of big cat, across state lines, U.S. borders, unless you qualify for an exemption. If you're licensed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Inspection Service under the Animal Welfare Act, you're okay. These licenses are commonly held by zoos, circuses, researchers, all that sort of thing. Wildlife sanctuaries have to meet specific criteria, mostly having to do with being nonprofit and letting the government come in and inspect your facilities, your records, the animals, and all that jazz. That being said, each specific state in the United States also has laws about this sort of thing, so check. And as far as Mexico goes, from what I can tell from news articles that range from 2000 to about 2007, it's legal to own exotic animals in Mexico if you have a permit, and these permits are relatively easy to get, or forge. Big cats are getting tied up in the drug trade in addition to already being high-ticket items on the whole black market, exotic big cat market. What is the etymology of the phrase, strapping young lad? I was an English major, and so I love etymology! I especially like phrase etymology. However, I don't think that strapping young lad has an etymology as a phrase. The word strapping has an etymology, as does young and lad. Let's focus on the strapping, because it has a really cool etymology. The adjective strapping means tall and sturdy. It was originally applied to women. The online etymology dictionary dates it at 1657 and compares it to whopping and spanking. Bear with me here. Whopping means large, big, impressive, and it dates from 1625. Spanking is from 1666 and means very big or fine. So you could say that a woman was a spanking young woman. Later, around 1738, when applied to horses, spanking meant moving at a lively pace. So a strapping young lad would be a very big, impressive, tall, sturdy young male. But I wouldn't use it as a pickup line today unless said male was wearing a bowler hat and riding a bike with a really big front wheel. My lighting is being really funky, and I really don't know why, because I'm not changing it. Is Margaret Atwood a misandrist, and has anybody outside of Canada ever heard of her, let alone thought her a talented writer? The Handmaid's Tale is perhaps one of Margaret Atwood's most famous books, and it does champion women's rights. However, I don't know if that's enough to label her as a misandrist, because let's face it, being a feminist, or even just saying, yay, women's rights, does not a misandrist make. She is known outside of Canada. She's actually received quite a number of awards from around the world. She was also a guest at the 2009 Miami Book Fair, where I had the pleasure of seeing her speak. If you ever have a chance to go to the Miami Book Fair, please do so, or any book fair for that matter. They're all awesome. And that brings me to the end of the questions. If you have a question that you want to ask, if you want to play Stump the Librarian, feel free to leave a comment, and if I make another one of these, I will answer, or try to answer your question. I once read somewhere that even Leonard Nimoy had trouble doing this, so I don't feel bad that I can't, DFTBA.